and I'm having a beer because this is a tradition. Any interview, I want to make every interview Robert's drinking.
Robert's drinking. I should have got my whiskey. I mean, I'm drinking too, but freaking smart water. I gotta stay hydrated.
See, that's the comparison and contrast. I'm drinking beer, you're drinking water. So, Michael, you wanted to talk today about, I believe what we discussed is talking about money, specifically money within the massage therapy industry and massage therapist mindset regarding money.
Right, absolutely. It's a real, not just with massage therapists, man. It's an issue with people.
Yeah.
I mean, I think if nobody had any money issues, in their mind, everybody would be getting a piece.
Yeah.
So, I mean, money is something that I have to get over. I've got issues around money myself, so I have to constantly get over my own money blocks,
Yeah.
And it's
an ongoing challenge because it changes. Sometimes you have more money, sometimes you have less. How do you feel about it, and how do you manage it best?
Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, look, I've never done one of these before, so I'm going to let you take the lead on this.
Well, I mean, the whole thing is, listen, there was a thread on the Massage Entrepreneurs group, and I'll never forget this. As the Massage Entrepreneurs group grows, it means that I give information and I try to whittle it down.
Right.
I was a philosophy student. I can write 5 pages of text, but nobody's going to read it. It's Facebook, right?
Right.
So I would whittle it down and just say something like, listen.
Well, hey, some people will read longer form.
But I mean,
good job of putting long form text on his posts.
Well, if you can say it in short form, it works better on that medium. That's all. That's all it is. And the thing is, this video is going to be an hour long. Are they going to watch all of it? Well, we'll wait and see. Some will, some won't.
That is good.
Yeah. But the thing is, all I said in the post that I made was, I recommended that massage therapists raise their rates by $10 an hour. And a little firestorm broke out, and a senior educator was like, I think you need to rethink this. You need to work on as many people as you can. If you raise your rates, people can't afford it. And I'm like, oh my God.
I mean, if your rates are high, you still need to work on as many people as you can.
It's just I don't know. I've never encountered an industry, except maybe artists. I've never encountered an industry where people have so many issues with money. Never.
Really?
No. Or maybe I just don't hang out with those people. Who has issues with money the way massage therapists do?
Yeah, you might be right, man. You might be right.
I've never been in another industry where they felt like they didn't deserve a raise.
Well, I think there's that whole healer thing, when you're it's bad to make money if you're helping people. Like, we're supposed to be helping people, so you can't make a ton of money doing people. Not doing people, but doing massage.
Yeah.
And even when I first started out on my own, I had that mindset. I had the mindset of my rates are cheap. Way more people will want to come to me.
Is that how it works?
I don't think so, man.
No, and the thing is, I figured it out. I started to figure it out, and it's a process. It's like business itself. People think there's an answer to everything. They come to the group, massage entrepreneurs, looking for an answer, and it's like, well, I mean, we can give you advice, but your situation is slightly different. Your market is slightly different. The kind of work you do is slightly different. It's like it changes over time. Yeah. It's like having a conversation about, do massage therapists discount? Well, it's complex. It depends on what your issue is. If you've been working for 20 years, why do you want to discount your session?
Well, I mean, my thing is if I was just a solo practitioner, my rates would be pretty high.
Yeah.
I mean, they'd be pretty high, but I'm going more wide than I am deep right now.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to expand versus and have more therapists and help them be successful versus just going deep on my own. How many hours do I have? I only have so many in a day.
Is that this way? It's this way, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
I gotta get better at these hand movements. No, so instead of as a solo therapist, you only have so many hours in a day. So unless you're going to hire somebody, your rates need to go up. The busier you get, when demand goes up, price goes up. If you're in demand and you're turning people away on a constant basis, and your prices are $50 an hour, dude, and you're just turning business away left and right because you're just too busy and your clients can't get in, raise your rates. Yep. And get to that point. Like, I started out doing house calls at $40 an hour. I wish somebody would have smacked me in the head back then. Because that's insane. That is insane, And my thought, because I worked at Massage Envy for 5.5 years. So my thought, like most therapists who do that, was, well, I'm only getting paid blank amount per hour. If I just charge 40, the same that they're paying at that place, I make 2-3 times more money. But it doesn't make any sense to charge the same as somebody coming to me as me going to them. And the thing I tell people is start higher, man. It's way easier to drop your price than it is to raise your price. So just start higher.
I know that, years ago, what happened when I was working at a chiropractor's office, I had my own office for the first time. And between doubling up, so I'm working 2 places, I got busy. I had no time.
Right.
And in private practice, I said, I think I need to raise rates. And that was the first time I'd ever even really considered it, where I went, okay, raise rates. All right, I'm busy. How much? And when I decided, it was like, $10 an hour or whatever it was. And the thing is, once I raised rates, I got more clients. It was completely counterintuitive because I'd been keeping the rate low, thinking that I was giving them a deal, thinking that I would, sort of purchase their allegiance in a way, because I give it to them inexpensively. I was selling it unconsciously from a sales position of, I'm giving you more value. I'm giving it to you cheaper.
Yeah.
And the thing is, when I raised rates, not only did they not go away, but I got more clients. And I waited another 6 or 9 months, and I was still swamped, and I raised rates again, and I didn't lose anybody.
Yeah.
I've raised rates now 2 or 3 times, and I don't think I've lost anybody during the whole process. I charge $240 a session right now. They're 3 hours long. And the thing is, I've got people telling me subtly, they're like, you need to raise rates. And you get more clients. How does that work?
I mean, I think that people who only shop on price aren't loyal. If the people you're dealing with, their only concern is price, they're just going to go to the cheapest price. And those aren't really who are going to be your ideal clients anyways.
And that, to me, that's a classic example of the commodification of massage. Mm-hmm. Massage as a commodity. And when people come in and they say, well, I want to make sure people can afford it. And I'm like, they can. It's called massage envy. They've cornered the market on a commodity massage.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. Like, first off, who wants to compete with you want to fight for the bottom? Who wants to compete for the lowest price? Why are you trying to be the lowest cost provider? It's a mental thing. You even yourself, when you go and pay for something and it's cheap, you have hesitation. When something is supposed to be valuable, like let's say you went and bought an iPhone, right? And they're normally the new one's $1,000. If somebody was selling a brand new iPhone for $300, you'd be like, I'm not buying that. There's obviously something wrong with it.
Yeah.
Because that they're normally not that cheap. Like the value of that phone is way higher than $300.
Yeah.
And if it's like $300 is an amazing deal for an iPhone. We're only talking about price here.
When it comes to price, here's the thing. Like, I talk about massage being a commodity pretty regularly. And the reason, or one of the reasons I decided to rebrand under the moniker Reboot is I'm giving the client a reboot. It's 3 hours long. It's a reboot. There's a suspension system. It's a reboot. They're clothed. Like, what? What the hell is a reboot? And I'm like, perfect. Now I can tell you what I do. It's the most luxurious body work for pain management on earth, or whatever the elevator speech is. But the thing is, if I say it's a massage, they're like, why do you charge $240 for a massage? Because all they want to know is what's the difference. I can get a massage envy for $60 or whatever the fee is. You know, why are you charging $240? See what I mean? Because of the name. The name is massage. So the thing is, like, when people come to you, when you're in Las Vegas, right? When you're in Las Vegas and you're working, what is your facility known for? And what's its name, one? And then what's it known for?
So, I mean, my business, I started out on my own, renting a room inside of a place called Flawless Silhouettes Wellness Spa. I was just renting one room. I actually started sharing space with another therapist. Him and I split the rent. And then I built my business. I ended up taking over the room fully. Just to give you a little background, do you mind if I do that?
Oh, no, absolutely. I want you to.
I know a lot of people probably don't know. So then I started renting the room fully. Then after a year, or after 6 months, I took over the room fully. At the next year, in the next 6 months, I ended up bringing on 2 therapists with me because I was so busy. And you know, people were always calling for a female therapist, and I'm like, I can't help you with that. You know, so I'm like turning business away. So I brought on 2 other therapists and rented another room. Ended up renting 3 rooms the next year, and now I have 5 therapists that work for me. 5, and I own the spa that I was renting from.
Nice.
So when people come to massage customs, though, I mean, I would say that we're known for like deep tissue type of massage. Obviously, it's in the name. You know, we customize the session to them, and I think the thing that I want people that I want people to know that I don't want to say is that we out care everybody else. That's what I want. So I think,
does massage envy, and that's the thing, just that. If all you said was that, does massage envy care?
I mean, that's not their brand.
Exactly. The thing is, but you're infusing that into your brand, Massage Customs. That's the right name, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's your brand. Just like I say it's a reboot. And they're like, what's a reboot? And I'm like, okay, do you have back pain? And they're like, yeah, I have low back pain. I'm like, I reboot your low back pain. Because it's part of your brand. It's like letting them know what it is you do. Massage Customs, right? And the thing is, it's like they can get a commodity massage anywhere. Until they work with you specifically and know what you, Michael, do. It's just a massage. It's just a commodity, and the commodity is all the same.
Yeah, I mean, when they come to us, man, our service is really personalized. You know, I don't have a full-time front desk person. They deal with the therapist from start to finish, from booking to checkout.
Nice.
So it's very personal, and I want it to stay that way. You know, I don't want to hire a full-time front desk person that handles all the clients and we pass them off to them. I want it to feel very personal.
And see that I've never heard of that specifically, but it sounds different to me. Just that little piece, like that sounds. I don't know if I've ever been to a place where the massage therapists themselves checked me in, checked me out, takes payment at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay. Cool. Nice. Because the thing is, my thought is it's more personalized.
It's very personalized.
Because if I go and I get a session with you, I'm working with Michael. It's part of Massage Customs, but I'm working with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and that's what people are saying as well without me saying it.
Yeah.
You know, I love coming here. It's so different than anywhere else because it's just so personal. You know, my therapists are dealing with clients one-on-one. I allow them to text and follow up and keep a relationship with their client outside. Yeah. You know, not like they're not going to go to the bar and hang out, but you know, they can follow up with them, send them. Yeah, exactly.
You encourage this.
You're gonna do it anyways.
Yeah.
When I was at Massage Envy, I did it anyways. Like even though we weren't allowed to, like I'm freaking texting my client.
The thing is, you were one of the people amongst many who like taught me little things about social media over time. Because I think you were the first one. You were the first one that really made me understand Snapchat as like another therapist talking about it.
Yeah.
And all you said was, "Hey, you can follow up with the client on Snapchat." And I was like, "Whoa!" That blew my mind at the time, because that's been a year and a half, 2 years ago, probably, when you told me that. Because I hadn't really considered the implications. But it's one of the reasons I recommend videos so heavily, is because I'm trying to encourage the therapist. We're in a deeply intimate job, deeply intimate profession. You've chosen to focus on the intimacy and to focus on the connection. And this allows people to get over that hump, because they're coming in essentially to take their clothes off and get a massage from you. It's a very delicate, intimate situation. But if you can build connection through video, through Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, whatever, I think it helps people get over the hump in choosing you as a personalized service.
Right.
Yeah.
And I mean, I use all social media. I'm really big on Snapchat right now. It's probably I'm going all in on Snapchat right now. I kind of back up on Instagram stories, because I do all my social media for my business. Like, post that you see is all me. And it's a little difficult to be the only one doing it. So I'm trying to go all in on Snapchat.
But the thing is, too,
dude, I send them videos. It's so easy, man. And that's just
when it comes to the connection, the ongoing connection. So do you run like specials through your social media, like through your Snapchat?
Yeah.
Yeah. And see, the thing is, like, from a financial standpoint, to bring it back, it's free.
It's free.
And that's what I can't understand about broke therapists. It's like you have all the time between clients to make a video, educate, talk to people. Yeah.
Well, one of the things I'm doing in my business is I'm teaching my therapists how to be successful in their own practice. So I'm hiring them as employees, but I'm training them to run their own business, because that's what I want to. When I expand, I want to franchise and have them go out on their own, so that they can actually make more money and then be successful in practice. So I'm showing them how to follow up with people, what to say, how to do social media. Like when I'll just take a quick Snapchat video. I'll just do a 10-second thank you video. Like, hey, thank you so much for coming in. Thank you so much for coming in. I really appreciate your business. It was a pleasure to meet you, and I look forward to seeing you on your next session. I take the video. If you want to get real personal, say their name and save it to your phone, text it to them. Otherwise, I could do a quick post like, hey, I hope you're well. Like on Mother's Day, for instance, I just did a video on Snapchat. I said, hey, happy Mother's Day. I hope you've been well. No names. And I tagged every person that I knew was a mom on my Snapchat. 20 people. Boom, 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 boom. Send, done. And I just followed up with 20 people.
It's this thing about, I think I saw Tony Robbins, and Tony Robbins said, you don't lack resources, you lack resourcefulness.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, that is America. I was like, oh my God, that is America. Everybody bitches. It's like, because what? Because somebody didn't roll out the red carpet and make it easy for you? It's like, guys, you have more access to more communication and technology than any people in human history, and you're still complaining? It's like the business landscape is changing mainly because of this, because of the technology, but the therapists won't use it. The thing is, to me, like the mindset you have, not just about money, but about life, is about affluence. You looked at a situation where this is free, basically, and said, I have access to all this stuff I can use to build business. And I see therapists constantly complaining that they don't have money for a fancy camera or whatever. I'll do a talk at a school, and they're like, hey, what kind of camera should I buy? And I'm like, are you out of your mind? You don't lack resources, you lack resourcefulness. It's like a hustler will find a way.
People use perfection as a way to not do things. When somebody says they're a perfectionist, I assume that they don't do anything. The first thing I think of, I'm a perfectionist. I'm like, then you probably never actually move towards action.
Yeah, the thing is, what I want you to do is use this with no budget.
Yeah.
make crappy videos, keep working at it, make better videos, and you figure it out. Now, here's the thing. You can't see this right now, but like what I did for this broadcast is I had a webcam sitting in a corner collecting dust. I had to spend 5 minutes going on trying to figure out how to switch the camera from my webcam to this camera. And then I've got lights on the other side of me right here. You can't see it, but it's like I just figured out over time. It's like, listen, I look better when there's bright lights. You know, it's like my complexion looks better. It looks better on camera. The audio is better. You know, you learn how to tweak the production value even of this. But once you've done that, if you're making enough money, I spent $3,000 on video equipment this year. 2 different cameras and a wireless mic. I think the wireless mic alone was $800. And therapists will tell me flat out, they'll go, "What? Why would you spend that much money
but
on equipment?" And it's like, I make YouTube videos. And they're like, "Well, why would you make YouTube videos? You don't make money off of that." And I'm like, oh my God, what do you think is going on?
Okay, I'll ask you later about the microphone because I am interested in what you're using. But,
yeah, no, I'm happy to show you what it is I use, and I can even send you the link to like what I actually purchased. Yeah. But the whole thing is, it's the resourcefulness thing. The Massage Entrepreneurs Group is free, dude. When you make a video and post that in Massage Entrepreneurs, those massage therapists look up to you. When we post that in that group, they aspire to get to the level of success that we have gotten to. And the thing is, we're still hustling. We're still working at it. It's not complete. You're trying to get to the point where you franchise.
I'm nowhere near where I want to be. I feel like I haven't done anything. I got to write down my successes every day because I start getting down on myself. Like, what are you doing?
Well, when it comes to it, I always go back to this. I'm like, okay, is it better than when I started? Yes. I had a flat tire yesterday, and I went to Discount Tire. After changing mine, I had a full-size spare that I paid for. And I went in, they said, "Hey, listen, there's something up with your alignment on your car. We need to replace both the front tires." And I said, "How much?" And they're like, $189. I'm like, "Sure, here, whatever." And the thing is, I can afford it.
Okay, Bob.
And if that's the situation financially, 5 years ago, that would have crippled me.
Well, that's what I made that post for the other day.
Yep.
No. One of the, who Scott Lindquist posted, he asked, "What's your income goal?" Right? And somebody... Yep. That's what I started getting all these thoughts because of that. This girl commented, "Who the heck needs $100,000?" And I was like, "Are you kidding me?" Like that type of mindset right there is insane to me because $100,000 isn't that much. It's not life-changing money. Like, I mean, you can't, like I said in my post to her, I was like, you're still gonna complain about movie ticket prices at $100,000 a year. You're gonna go on one vacation, maybe 2 a year for 2 weeks tops.
Yeah.
Because you're not making that much money. You can't afford to take time off like you want to. You know?
Yeah, it's been interesting because the money thing has come up several times in the group, and I think Douglas Barhorst, I think that's his name, was talking about retirement.
Yeah.
Like, what are you going to do when you get old and your body starts to break down and you need medical care? And it's like, man, medical care and the way it intersects with like people retiring. It's why I'm a big fan of Dave Ramsey, because the thing is, Dave Ramsey didn't bullshit me when it came to money. He's like, listen, he was basically like, listen, if you expect the government to take care of you, you got another thing coming. Social Security ain't enough.
What, $1,500 a month? What are you going to do on that?
Exactly. It's like, the thing is, to me, it's not about greed. And I always point this out when it comes to money, because the problem I had was at the time I was doing what I called Thai massage. It was mat-based. And I realized the reason I couldn't sell it as well as I wanted to was people didn't know what it was. And I knew enough to teach it. So I just bit the bullet, assimilated all the information I'd gotten from my teacher, had a conversation with her. She was like, yeah, go teach. You know it. Like, you study with me again and again and again. So I made this workbook. It was a PDF. It cost me $1,800, I think, at the time to produce this little 54-page thing, because I paid a photographer to take the photos. And I paid someone to take my text and position it correctly on the PDF and make it look nice, make it look professional. And now I had this digital thing, and I was like, what do I do with it? Do I sell it? And it was like $1,800 to me was a lot of money. I mean, a lot. And I was like, no, I'm going to give it away for free for an email. And everybody was like, that is the dumbest thing I have ever heard in my life. And right now, my email list has over 7,000 people on it. It's for its advertising dollar, it is the most beneficial thing I've done for my business. It's just a little free giveaway. But it was a little free giveaway of a thing, of an information, a digital PDF that I can give away forever. You know what I mean?
That's another issue around money that therapists have, is they're so short-term focused.
Yeah, totally short-term.
Like they have no long-term vision. That's why when I suggested another post that I did, that you give away free chair massage to grow your business, 5 minutes for free. You know, like go do an event somewhere that you're not getting paid for. You're gonna do 5 minutes, and so many people are like, don't give away anything for free. I'm like, are you insane? Like, do you not know how business works? Like, look at anybody who's doing anything significant and they're giving things away for free.
Yeah. Now I positioned myself to give away knowledge as much as I could. Now, the Thai Massage Jam each week in Austin, I talk about this, and sometimes I think people can't get a full picture of my practice because it's really nuanced. It's like I give it away at Thai Massage Jam. It'll be tomorrow night in Austin. It's $5. Guess what? Massage therapists on the whole don't go to it. I'm there. I'm working on people.
I just found out that Home Depot does free workshops at their place.
And why would Home Depot do free? It's perfect. Why would Home Depot do free workshops?
Dude, they're going to get people into their business.
Because they teach you how to do grout, and they teach you how to lay tile, and then you go, oh man, I'm going to redo my bathroom. And where do you buy all the stuff? Home Depot.
We have that right over here. So, like, I mean, you know, if you don't have money to start your business, it's so easy, in my opinion.
It's easier to me right now. It's easier than at any time to have a business that starts on almost no budget. And I think a lot of it starts with this.
Yeah, but you know what? So many people are afraid to actually use this for what it was meant for.
Why?
Because they have some kind of, in my opinion, they have.
Okay, here's what they think. They're like, well, I don't want people to criticize me. Okay, so fail at business.
Not like me.
They're like, well, if I make videos, people will call me fat. I'm like, join the club. I'm drinking a beer. I make YouTube videos. I get called fat regularly. You know what? I take my fat ass down to the bank and deposit money.
I'm supposed to start saying skinny or fat, right?
I mean, the thing is, you know, it's like when you talk about, I'm afraid of people seeing me. It's like, how are you going to win at a business that deals with people when you don't want to be seen at all?
There's so much, man. Yeah. Like, you know, parents tell you when you're young, you know, don't get too much attention, you know?
Yep.
And you need to get attention.
Man, the thing is, when I work with therapists, and the thing is, the Massage Entrepreneurs Group is ongoing, and I'll continue to offer like care and support however I can. You get to this point where you're dealing with their emotions and their psychology. Well, you're not dealing with their bodywork skill. You're not dealing with massage technique. You're dealing with the fact that they don't love themselves enough to charge what they're worth and to charge for their time and go out and hustle and make businesses and grow.
I mean, there's a lot of different reasons for why people have money blocks. You know, there's a fear of success, and what that brings is because they view successful people as evil, or they had a bad experience with somebody who seemed like they had money, and they were rude or something, or they did the wrong thing, and they're like, well, and they associate that with the money or the way the person looks or the car they drive. And you know, one of the things people need to realize is that money doesn't change you. You know, if you're a jerk, you're gonna be if you're a jerk when you're broke, you're gonna be a jerk when you're rich. It enhances you, it exposes you.
It exposes you. That was what I was going to say. The money and the technology exposes. Yeah. It allows you to put you on parade.
And if you're
what's going on there? Yeah.
If you're a super generous person, a caring person, you're just going to be able to magnify your efforts with more money. You know?
I mean, the thing is, like, for me, it's mind-blowing because when it comes to education, we kicked off our subscription service, I think, about 2 months ago.
By the way, I think you're charging way too cheap, bro.
No. Here's the thing.
Way too cheap, dude.
No, it's fine. But let's talk about it. Let's talk about it for a second, okay? Because here's the thing. What therapists keep telling me is, I can't make it to Texas to study with you. And I'm like, okay, so distance education. And I wasn't real happy about distance education for a lot of reasons because we teach manual work, right? And then I thought about it and I'm like, wait a second, like I'm already in the class teaching. Why don't I just record it and just upload it? And the thing is, it's like you can't learn everything that way. You didn't go to massage school distance. You know what I mean? But at the same time, you go, okay.
No, I mean, hands-on is way better, but video
It's
still.
like, okay, so if you do a subscription service for $30 a month, here's what's going to happen. The therapists are going to say, I can't afford it. And I said, okay, listen, to kick it off, just to start it off, we're going to do what Netflix does. I have the Netflix of massage education. It's $7 a month. Now bitch to me about cost. Bitch to me about cost for education. We don't offer CEs yet, but the thing is, it's like by the end of the year, we're going to have 100 hours of video instructional content. I screen share the inside of my social media platform, showing them how I use them. Like I'm getting better and better and better at the video production, audio, all the stuff that we're doing is going to get better. We're adding more value. $7 a month. And we've gotten a pittance of the industry. Because see, to you think we're charging too little. Say it again.
You got on that?
What?
How many members you got on that?
Oh, we got about, I think last I saw we had like 60 subscribers.
Not bad, not bad. Do you think that if you raise the price, more people will get it? I mean, if it's okay.
Well, and this is the thing. Okay, it's complex. Okay?
Robert, maybe people think it's not valuable.
Okay, that's cool.
I want you to make more money, man.
No. I know. No, the thing is, the money issues we're talking about. It's not like you and I don't have issues with it, and we're talking about people who do.
Right.
No, we have less issues. we still got issues. It's a constant evolution, but here's the thing. If I used medical jargon and made it sound like James Wisloski and Eric Dalton, ooh, and I'm like, nah, that's bunk. Like, and I don't mean that their work is bunk, by the way. I respect them as educators. Yeah. What I mean is the bus driver, who lives next door should be able to understand that he has pain in a muscle in his neck.
Oh,
something's, and I want him to understand that on a very rudimentary level. Massage is a very archaic tool to use in a sense. Now we use it as artists, and I want to charge for that. But here's the thing: I'm already making money off of the class for the students who paid for the class. What I make from that subscription service is a bonus, and the fact that subscription service is digital means I can scale it worldwide. That means if you're in Australia, Japan, Korea, you can study with me in Texas.
For sure.
And that's why I said, listen, how much can we charge to get it going and where they don't unsubscribe? And I'm like, $7. Do it. $7. The number of perfection. Just do it. Kick it off. It doesn't matter. Just do it. And the thing is, do we eventually raise the fee? Because I think it's worth way more. Like, people will watch one video and go, oh my God, like completely changed my practice. I'm getting more.
If you became like Netflix and you got, 100 million people on your thing and you raise it $1, you just raised up your income $100 million.
Well, the thing is, your business, you have a physical establishment. Okay. I'm just me. I'm just me. I don't have a facility. I'm not opening a facility. I'm going online. I'm going digital. I charge $7 a month. You do the math. If I get 1,000 subscribers, I'll make $7,000 a month.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
Not bad. Oh my God. Like, dude, if we get to the point where massage therapists understand what we're actually teaching on the subscription service, it's going to disrupt the massage industry. And the thing is, it's like, yeah, we can raise fees later. Or like, listen, if I get to the point where I've got 500 hours of content, we can package it and go, listen, it's $1,000. You just buy it all at once later. But the thing is, you got to hustle and you got to put out rhymes that are so fly that you become Eminem, that you become Drake, that you're somebody that somebody listens to. And the whole thing is, how do you get that going? I started with a free workbook. Then I started selling stuff, and we're making some retail sales. But the thing is, digital distribution is inexpensive. You have a physical facility you have to pay rent for. You have to pay taxes for the people. You have to whatever. When I talk about massage entrepreneurship, see, the thing is, the therapist is short-term thinking. They're just thinking about, how do I get another client? But the thing is, what happens when your practice is full? Do you hire? Do you own a place? Do you get an education? Like, what do you do? And that's the thing. They're not thinking like entrepreneurs. They're still thinking like massage therapists.
Yeah. I mean, I try to do so many different things to raise our income. I sell products. I try to add enhancement services to the service. But I don't do anything that I don't think is going to benefit the client. I don't sell anything that I don't think is going to benefit the client.
I have very high standards for what I sell.
Yeah. I'm not a con artist, man. I can't sell stuff I don't believe in. And some people can. I have a friend, it doesn't really matter what it is, she can get it done. And me, I'm like, if I don't believe in this product, you are going to see the enthusiasm wiped right off of my face.
So, I mean, the thing is, like, let's say you give a massage. When it comes to money, it's like, if you say, okay, I'll pay you $50 for this massage. I'm like, all right. But then you say, I'll pay you $100 for this massage. What are you more excited about?
I mean, I'm way more excited about 100.
And that's the thing. I want therapists to set their rate at the point where they're excited about it.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, it just comes down to how valuable your time is. And
the most limited resource.
I just turned down 2 1-hour out-call massages because I'd rather stay home with my kids.
Yeah, because your time is valuable. Your kids aren't going to be kids.
$200 that I turned away right there.
Yeah.
Because I'm not stressing about the money. And, basically I got to trade my time with my kids for money. I just pay. What I did was with that is I just paid $240 to spend time with my kids. Yeah, and you can't afford to do that if you're not making enough money. You like
that? You're paying for time for your kids.
That's basically what I do.
Time with your kids. Yeah, it's like, I don't know. I mean, there's so many levels. Like, I don't want to get too off track talking about what you and I are doing specifically because of the mental challenges massage therapists have with what they charge. But there's just all this internal baggage they have about money. Like, when I see therapists, it's like, I don't know, they say like derogatory things towards people who have money. And I'm like, no wonder you're broke. You can't hang out with people who afford your services. It's like people who are broke can't afford $240 for a session. Well, and then I'll get like mildly, like, people will start to attack me, like, you charge too much. I'm like, Time Massage Jam's $5. My free workbook is free. My social media, my YouTube, my website, my blogs, all that stuff, all the education I give away for free on Instagram and Snapchat is free. And they're like, oh, whoa.
Look, I mean, there's several things that therapists can do. If they want to raise their rates and they want to make more money, they can add value to their service. I mean, that's every time I raise my rates, I'm like, what can I do to get over my own money block and justify this price increase? Yep. What can I add in there? So, I mean, I might have added, I started out at $40 an hour for an out call, and now I don't go to somebody's house for less than $100. Like, I'm not leaving.
Not even going to do it. Won't even consider it.
For an hour.
Yep.
And I'm not even going to a hotel. Like, because we do out here in Vegas, there's a lot of people who on the strip clients that come in from out of town who want like an in-room massage and stuff. And what I do is I send people to do. I charge $140 an hour for that. I pay the therapist $90, and I keep a little bit of the cut.
Yeah.
And that's all pre-negotiated too. I'm like, what do you want to charge for this? And they all charge way less than $140. So it works out for me.
Yeah, I don't know. So much of it, I just see therapists whine. It's like they want everything their way right away. Like they don't want to work for it. They don't want to build the business. And the thing is, the reason I started Entrepreneurs was I started to realize, bodywork skill is part of it. But I think it's easier to teach a businessman massage than it is to teach a massage therapist business. Think about it.
Look, man, I don't know if I've always been like this. You know, I listen to Gary Vaynerchuk, who says there's these naturals, and I listen to Grant Cardone, who says anybody can do it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I grew up poor. You know what I mean? Yeah. My mom's never made more than $10 an hour my whole life until recently. You know, I think she makes like 14. You know, and they're doing okay. But like I had a lot of money blocks to get over. Like to think about charging $100 an hour in the beginning of my career was insane. So it's a process, you know. And I think videos like this and content like what Scott's got and when you have with your Thai massage and your social media stuff, it's gonna help therapists realize their value and learn how to communicate that value to other people easily. Because what it is, who's it's to sell is basically a transfer of you're trying to get somebody to believe what you believe, you know, and that's what it breaks down to, you know. Yeah. And, you know, with these type of programs, it's like I said, it's a process. So they got to start somewhere.
The $1,800 that went into, I think it was $1,800, whatever it was, that went into the free workbook I distributed. That was money I made. That was money I earned. That was money that my clients who'd invested in their health with me then went out and helped me make more money because it was an investment. And an investment is different than just laboring for your money. And that's part of the thing. It's like, listen, you can earn your way. You can labor your way to 100,000, but you have to invest your way to 1 million. It's different. It's not the same thing. You're talking about set up a franchise. The average massage therapist has no idea how many lawyers, contracts, agreements that have to be drawn up.
And I'll tell you right now what I'm going through.
Yeah.
I spoke to a lawyer about how to do this and stuff because I don't have no idea. I never franchised a thing before, you know, and I don't do partners. You know, I'm not going to have somebody take half of my business. So I have to open up several locations is my next goal.
Yeah.
I'm looking for a second one right now. I just went out today to look for it because I need to learn what it takes to run multiple locations. Yep. I know there's therapists in this group who already do it, and kudos to them. But you know, it's a lot of, and then I have to trademark everything and freaking write up all the processes, which I'm doing right now. Like it's a lot of money to get started, and I'm trying to do it all debt free.
Yeah,
I read Dave Ramsey's book in 2012, and that's what it takes, man. People need to start reading. You know, they can watch these videos, but they have to read books by successful people, and not just books about business, but really dive into what is that person actually doing now. Because there's a lot of motivational speakers out there, but the only business they own is motivational speaking.
Yeah.
You know, they don't own their own.
The investing thing, and this is an area, like, I don't talk about it a lot on entrepreneurs, because to take a therapist who's just trying to figure out how to fill their books, to talk to him about investing in real estate is like, okay, mutual funds, stocks, bonds, you know, it's like, you know, it's too much because it seems overwhelming, kind of cart horse, right?
That's why I like the book, because it's
again?
Dave Ramsey's Total Money Makeover.
Yes. And I recommend his radio show, because what happens with the radio show is he's just giving free stuff, just like I gave a free workbook. Mm-hmm. He's letting you see inside his world of like Americans struggling. And it's like, dude, people will call in and they say, yeah, we make our total household income is $200,000 a year. We can't make it. And I'm like, what? What do you mean you can't make it? Dude, they have a mortgage. They have $50,000 on credit cards. They have 2 car notes for Mercedes and a BMW they bought. You know, it's like, I'm like, oh my God, what, like, are you insane?
So I love Dave Ramsey because Dave Ramsey appeals to most people. There's a point though where I think you need to start listening to other people.
Sure.
Like Grant Cardone, because Dave Ramsey's get out of debt, invest, build wealth over time. It's a very long.
Yeah, exactly. I got to a point I would listen to Dave, and I was getting great information, and then at a certain point it slowed down for me, and I realized what it was because most of Dave's audience, in my experience, they're not working on the investing stage. They're working on the getting out of debt stage. Mm-hmm. And the thing is, once you start thinking about investments, I'm like, this is a different money issue.
So I think it's really good for. His program is, look, let me just tell you, I'll tell you my story. Like, my wife and I read his book. I ended up paying off $27,000 in debt in 6.5 months. Debt free except for my house.
And that's why you have a business. I can cut the story short. Go ahead, but I want to hear this.
That was the year before I started my own business, before I went out on my own. Because I was like, I can't go out on my own, and because it's too risky if that doesn't work. And I got all these payments, 2 car payments, school loan payment, So my wife and I worked our freaking butts off. I worked 13 days a week, Good. 8 to 8, 7 days a week. That's for the whole year.
Yeah.
And that's when my clientele started, and I started reading business books. I started reading self-help, sales, success, mindset, motivation, anything I could get my hands on to improve my skills in my business. And I went from January, I started reading because my aunt, we owed her $8,000 to pay off. She paid off my wife's car so we could get our house, which was another stupid thing to do. Yeah. We owed her $8,000, and we did for like 2 years. So she bought us this book. She's like, here, learn how to pay money back. And so we read it, and I went from doing 1 to 2 clients a month on the side. I was still at Massage Envy to 7 to 8 a week in a matter of 4 months. And that's because I started learning about customer service and sales and, how to communicate with people and speak about myself, because self-promotion was very hard for me, very, very easy for me now. But it was very difficult for me to tell somebody to come in. And I went from doing $100 to $250 a month to $1,300, $1,400, $1,500 a month on the side, and throwing all that money at debt, saving up a 6-month emergency fund by the end of the year, and went out on my own, quit my job. And I know me, I can't have a safety net.
Yeah.
I'm like, I told my wife, I was like, I gotta quit. I can't. Like, I was gonna do both. I'm like, I gotta quit. Because I'm not going to do it if I don't have any other option. That's scary. That's scary for people.
A very slow route. Right.
I would say it was a slow route. It took me 5.5 years to get there.
Okay, yeah. That's what I did. I was in a chiropractor's office for 5 years. Once I finally started to key in, I had stability at this 12 hours a week at this chiropractor's office. Mm-hmm. The rate of pay per hour was good. And I'm like, okay, now double up, do both. And it was like, as this continued to grow, eventually the income from this was like, this is a joke. This has got to go. Yeah. But the thing is, it's like when you talk about, say it again.
For 5.5 years, I was trying to build my clientele. It wasn't until that last year that I was still only doing a couple of hours every month.
Yeah.
Like, it's not growing. And that's a mindset thing. But
it's where you put your energy. It's like so many people are using this technology to consume, and I'm using it to produce.
Right.
This to me is like when I understood what this was, and I can tell you stories about cell phones specifically because for me these were annoying when they first came out. I didn't understand. I'm like, why does everybody have to have the phone on them all the time? I don't understand. Like, we got phones.
Bro, I'm addicted to this thing.
Oh no, I am now. But the thing is, I didn't understand what it was. And the thing is, once I understood, it's not a phone. It's a small personal computer that happens to make phone calls. Yep. There's a difference. It's like Instagram, Snapchat, YouTube, the functionality this gives me. The fact that people ask me what camera to buy, I'm like, oh my God. I can sit and have marketing conversations with people at massage schools and their jaw drops. When I explain to them the technological capacity that exists that they're overlooking, they're just like, it's just like complete anarchy in a way. It's right in front of their noses, but the thing is, they're using it to consume. They're not using it to produce.
Well, I mean, that's when some of the questions I see therapists ask too are like, just Google it. You know, like if you need to think about like, oh, I want to go out on my own, but I don't know how to do blank. If you're asking that in a group and you want me to go do the research for you,
yes,
have all the same resources that I have.
But if you're smart, what you do is you answer their question, you package the information, and then you sell it to them. You solve a problem. That's all massage therapists do. It's like, listen, people could go to YouTube and type in, hey, how do I do massage on my neck? Self-massage. And they could work on themselves. They could work on themselves almost, not as good, but almost as good. So why do they come to us?
Because we're awesome, man. I mean,
exactly. It's like, awesome. I tell people this all the time. Listen, I could right now. I could figure out how to change the oil on my car. I don't know if I've ever changed the oil on my own car because it costs like $30. It's like, this guy knows what he's doing. Let him work on my car. Like, if he's got a bad back, I'll give him a business card. But like, you change the oil, I work on the backs. Like, let's specialize.
Mm-hmm. That goes back to time, you know, when you're paying somebody to do your car, you're paying to get your time back.
Yeah. If a guy works at a desk, he codes. We get a lot of programmers in Austin. He sits at a desk, he codes, he has low back pain. How much is it worth to him to be able to sit and actually mentally focus, feel good, and do what he's doing?
Probably amazing.
Exactly. And the thing is, it's like, yeah, he could kind of fumble around looking for YouTube videos and not knowing what he's finding, or he could go to somebody he deems to be a professional because they have a great website, social media presence. You know, he looks up something and I show up because I'm in Austin and I've got a YouTube video. I'm like, hey, you sit at a desk and you're slouching all day, so your low back hurts. This is how you work on it. Who does he trust? From that free YouTube video that I paid $3,000 for video equipment.
That's another, that's another thing that people can do is they can reach out to those people. You want to grow your business? You have access to so many people. Go on Instagram and type in coders and coding. See all the people who pull up. I mean, Gary Vaynerchuk gave this advice. Just message him real quick. Hey, I see you're at the computer all day. I'm on a half hour.
Hold on now. You're going wild and crazy if you're talking about searching hashtags and direct messaging people. I got called a misogynist for that. I mean, but that's the thing. We have options. The poverty isn't fiscal poverty. The poverty is mentality in America right now. That's what the problem is. Just cut the bullshit. Listen, people are dying to get into the United States. As messed up as you may think it is, people are dying to get into this country because they know they can make it because they're willing to work hard to do it.
Right. You know,
there's money here. You have to provide value. I'm not saying that the system is equitable. I'm not saying it's balanced. I'm not saying it's not lopsided. I'm not saying it's easy. But the thing is, if you're willing to work and you're willing to provide people value, you can make money in America. And that includes massage therapists.
I mean, I think people need to read to be able to change their mindset about money, because everything. Watch a movie, okay? Just watch any movie, and the villain is a business person. Every single one of them. I was watching Ninja Turtles, one of the newer ones. Shredder is the villain, but the guy behind him is a businessman.
Yeah.
And no wonder people have an issue around business and money. It's
but here's the thing. When I talk about, like, sometimes I'll hashtag capitalism, like on the entrepreneurs group. And the thing is, I think it ruffles some people's feathers because they fundamentally, they don't like capitalism. And I'm like, okay, but hold on. Now, the thing is, capitalism. Well, I mean, the thing is, it depends. It depends on how you define it. And that's what I'm trying to point out. When I work with a client and that client pays me, I think that's capitalism. The other end of the spectrum is you have a large corporation whose only motivation is to provide profits to its shareholders. It didn't say nothing about ethics. It didn't say nothing about longevity. It didn't say anything about environmental concerns, right? But the thing is, it's like those are both considered capitalism, and I don't think this is the same thing as a guy who decides to be a plumber and go make money and plumb. Makes sense? To me, those are two different things, and I think people are confusing the two. When I say capitalism, they think I'm talking about this, and I'm like, no. And the thing is, it depends on like your economic theory. Even if you would define this, I think, as capitalism.
Well, if we're talking about the kind of capitalism that I would like to see, we don't live in that world right now. Like, the companies that got bailed out in 2008, those should have failed.
Oh, that's not capitalism?
Those companies should have failed. That's capitalism. You're not good enough to make it, you fail.
Yeah.
But they
and that's the top. And that's why people, it's like, listen, when people have, what are the, it's the upper 1%, the people, that are fighting it. What do they call it? They were having riots and like pickets. What is it?
The lobbyists?
No. There were people who were going to Wall Street and protesting and whatever else. They were protesting the upper 1%. It's like, I understand to a degree what they're doing, but at the same time, I'm not so willing to like throw capitalism out the window and think it doesn't work in perspective.
I think those people have a right to be upset about how
Occupy Wall Street. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, but not at the businesses. They should be directing their attention to if we're going to get into this, to the government, because they're the ones that screwed up and bailed them out. It isn't, is it the business fault that they got bailed out?
Well, but see, that's the thing. When you get to this scale of capitalism, there is no difference between this and government on a federal level. These guys are just cycling through, from
that type of capitalism isn't what I support.
The thing is, but that's the thing. We're blue collar, basically. We're working men, and we're trying to get out of poverty. And the thing is, when I talk about gender issues, sexuality issues, all the stuff we get up to about like equitable situations, equity, we talk about power dynamics in the massage industry as it influences the overall culture, because we're just a sliver of this overall culture. Here's the thing. I think some people are confused because my number one enemy is poverty. It's like, listen, was I going to sit down? I had to think about this at one point because I used to talk about being a male massage therapist and how I was discriminated against. And I think to a point that's true, but it's like, listen, how long am I going to sit and talk about, how much mileage will I really get complaining about being a white guy in America? Really?
But no. The only thing I can complain about is being a male therapist, and I don't. If you're complaining about something, that's a surefire way for me to know that you're a loser, that you're not going to win. If you're complaining that you're not getting what you want because of anything, you're a loser, man.
Here's the thing. If you bust it, and I love this because I'll talk to therapists and I'll try to recommend stuff like this and whatever. And the thing is, if the therapist writes me and they go, man, dude, I tried to like do this and I couldn't figure it out, and then I had some trouble with this, and you could tell they busted it all day trying to figure it out. Yeah. I'll buy you a beer, and we will sit and we will talk about the fact that we are frustrated because we are kicking it, and we are trying to get out of poverty, and it's hard because it's your labor. You got to work your way out. You can't, nobody's just going to roll out the red carpet for you. But at the same time, if you're not going to do anything, I don't have time. When any therapist right now, if they tell me education's expensive, I'm like, wrong. Like, my subscription service is $7 a month. I'll give you the first month for $1. It's like you have no complaints.
Yeah, same thing I said in my other video. If you're complaining about something, like there's nothing that is holding you back. Somebody asked in the group, how could you not think that a race has an issue and holding people back? Like, she's like, do you really believe we have an equal opportunity to make it in this country? I said, are you insane? Of course we do. Everybody has the same opportunity. Now,
Okay.
hold on.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
It may be harder for some people because of race or gender.
Yeah.
For sure there's the obstacles. But if there's somebody that looks like you who's made it, absolutely it's possible. I mean,
I don't think the playing field is level. And I'm willing to have conversations about that. But here's the thing. When the rubber meets the road, what do we do about it?
I think the playing field is level. I think that's a mind.
Even if you do, the thing is, it's like, okay, now what are you going to do about it? Because we can think whatever we want, but the thing is, in the end, it's like I don't feel like not only am I not holding people back, I'm not enforcing power structures that hold them back either. I don't support those things. But at the same time, okay, we've decided that the playing field is level. So what?
Yes. Is it harder for a male therapist in this industry to get booked? I would say yes. Can I really say yes? Because I feel like it was pretty easy for me. But that's what I hear from other massage therapists.
Yeah.
I got passed up by other, okay, I was at a concert one time. I see a client, and she introduced me to her friend. She's like, oh, no, I couldn't get a massage from him. And you know what I did? I went online, right, and I posted all kinds of things I was discriminated against. No, I didn't do that. I absolutely could care less. I could care less that person didn't want to get a massage from me, or maybe because her husband wanted to prove because I'm a guy or whatever. I move on so quick, and I always have. I mean, I'm Mexican, Italian, and Irish. Do I look white? I think I look white. I don't know. I look Italian. I look Mexican. I got a Mexican last name. I've been discriminated against based on my race because somebody found out that I was Mexican, like real racist lady one time. But that isn't my everyday struggle, but it didn't matter. It didn't matter that day when it happened. It doesn't matter when somebody today doesn't want to get a massage. I spend zero time trying to sell them on why they should get a massage with me, regardless of I'm a guy. And they're like, oh, I can't go to a guy. I'm like, cool. I got female therapists. I could care less. I move on so quick. And that the issue is the real problem with that is they don't have enough clients. They're not in front of enough people. If they were in front of enough people, regardless if that person was a black or a woman or man, if they get in front of enough people are not going to care that they're going to be able to grow their business.
Yeah.
Because yes, there's struggles. If you're
in the end, here's the thing: these overarching issues. Let's say somebody's listening to this and they're like, "Man,
hated on for this."
What'd you say?
I said, I know I'm going to get hated on for all this, and I just.
Oh no, it's fine. It's fine. Get hated on. Oh, yeah. People are not going to like what you say and follow you and comment on your video and make you get higher Google search engine optimization. Thank you.
That's they need to be, and it's a struggle for me because people not liking me is a real issue for me.
Yeah.
I like to be liked, and I people don't like me.
I do too. That's why I take it personally when another educator in our industry called me a misogynist, and it's like, and it didn't feel like a whole lot of people stood up. A lot of people just like, well, I guess he deserved it, But the thing is, even if you think the playing field isn't level and you have issues with these overarching issues, guess what you can do about it when you're in poverty?
Why even spend time and energy on it? Why?
Well, but the thing is, some people care about it, and that's fine. They care about it. So here's the thing: what are you going to do? Okay, the world's messed up. Okay, now what? Because that's my only issue. It's like, listen, if you go busted all day and you fight for causes you care about, and then it's still messed up at the end of the day, whatever that means, then cool, I'll buy you a beer, we'll talk about it. But the thing is, you can't just sit around and do nothing and complain, especially when it comes to business. And especially when it comes to a business that is as personal as massage therapy. People will work at a facility and then they'll complain that the facility owner doesn't market in the way that they want them to fill their books. And I'm like, what do you do for their marketing? And they're like, oh, well, that's their job. And it's like, really? Go ahead, say it.
It's everybody's job.
And the thing is, do spa owners, do facilities teach therapists that work for them how to use this to promote their business?
They don't, but I do.
Yeah.
You think I waited around at Massage Envy for them to fill my schedule? Why do you think I text my clients against rules? I'm like,
Yeah.
if I have an opening, I'm not sitting around waiting for them to book my schedule. I'm texting the client, somebody who I like and I know, because one thing I love about having a regular clientele is I know how my day is going to go.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, I got full books of clients that I love, which makes for an amazing day.
Yeah.
I never waited around for somebody else to book my schedule, ever. Yeah. That's why I was, regardless of being male, the number one most requested when I was there for the last 3 years.
Yeah, most people, when you get down to it, most people who have money, I'm not saying they didn't get money, okay? Because once you have money, it's easier to invest and make more money. But most people, in my experience, work for it. And I know people don't want to hear that, but I think it's true. No. Most people work for it. And the thing is, say it again?
80% of the Forbes 400, the richest people in the world, 80% are self-made.
Yep.
That means only 2 out of every 8 of them had money passed down to them or inherited.
Yep.
And they probably don't have money issues because they grew up with rich parents. So.
Dude, if you think our conversation is brutal, let's get Grant Cardone to do an interview.
Let's go watch his interviews. His interviews are amazing. He's the reason, and watching him and reading his books is what expanded my mind to even think that what I want to do is possible. Because before, like I said, I would never be here. I would never be here if I didn't read and if I didn't expand my mind to what was possible and listen to other people who are more successful than me, who are already in business.
Yeah.
I listen to business owners, business people. Grant Cardone owns his own business. Dave Ramsey owns his own business. Gary Vaynerchuk owns his own business. Those are my 3 main people because they actually are doing and they've grown what they're talking about.
Yeah. The whole thing with massage entrepreneurs and all of my social media, like if you go to my YouTube channel, you can go back to the first video. You can see where I started. And you can see what it's evolved to, and you get to document that process. You get to see, it's like massage entrepreneurs isn't me sitting on top saying, I figured it out. No, it's me sharing the journey with you about, hey, let's work together for like mutual benefit. Because I don't have to do that. You know, I don't have to dedicate time to therapists, but I have a big heart for massage therapists who are trying to make it. And the public gets better massage when massage therapists take the bull by the horns and create unique bodywork services they cannot get in Massage Envy. Helps everybody. Small business people make up the bulk of the economy, right?
They do.
And you're a small business, man. You talking about franchise is like rainbows.
Bro.
Say it again?
I don't want to be small forever, though. Okay, I'm trying to get out of that.
No. But the thing is, you're talking about franchising. Like, when I'm talking about rainbows of gold, like you're dreaming about getting somewhere. You know, like, no, I talk to a lawyer, which means it's getting real. You know, you're having real legal conversations about what does that franchise contract mean? You know, what's involved? What's the tax structure on I don't know. You know, it's like the thing is there's so much that goes into it, but therapists are still trying to figure out how to get a client. And a lot of what I see is couch complaining. They sit on the couch and do nothing and just complain, and they won't even pick this up and like try to communicate with people, make a short video, photo, something. They don't want to put in the work, man.
Most people don't, man. I mean, the issues we're talking about, I know we're more massage therapists, so we're talking about massage therapists, but it's an issue for most people, like I said before. And just I want to give try to give some practical advice that people can take action on, so that we're not just like talking about therapists having issues with money. So if you have any, like, for sure, let's talk about that. One of the things, what's funny to me though, is that therapists will be like, I don't make enough at my location and I want to make more money, but then like, well, not too much, right? Like I don't want to make, because they don't want to raise their rates. They want to do cheap massages outside of their location. I'm like, if they want to make more money, the biggest thing they need to learn is sales and negotiations. You want to make more money at your next location? When I worked at the chiropractor office that I worked at for 2 years, I was at Massage Envy still making 15 or 16 bucks an hour. Yep. They wanted me to work there, and they're like, this is my first attempt at negotiating. Maybe I could have got more. But they're like, how much do you want? And, like when a lot of people are posed with that question, they usually lowball themselves a little bit. And I probably did, but at the time it was way more than I was making. And I told them it's not worth it for me to make less than 30 bucks an hour.
Yeah.
Because at the chiropractor office, you don't really make that much tips. It's not like there's not like that gap like at Massage Envy where you make 15 or 20 bucks per hour on top with a tip. But people aren't comfortable in negotiating their pay. They just take whatever. This is my favorite thing. People who get offered something and accept it and then complain about it. That's my favorite. Well, I mean, I worked in Massage Envy for 5.5 years. So I was around a ton of therapists who hated their life. I was the most positive person in that place because I knew what it was. Is I knew I wasn't stuck.
Yeah.
I had a goal to get out. I wanted to go into private practice, and I knew I'm learning. I was like, I'm learning. I'm talking to the owner of the place. I'm like, how's things? I'm trying to gain knowledge of the place, of how to run a business because I've never done it before. Trying to grow my private practice. I'm not stuck. And I think that's why a lot of therapists complain about what they're doing is because they feel stuck. They don't have any options. Like somebody held a gun to their head.
The options thing, there are more options than there were 20 years ago.
No, but you're making money from making videos online. Like anybody could do that. You know what I mean? They don't even need to be like a successful person, and people would probably buy it. You gotta work at it. There's various elements. It's not like I'm getting rich. Nothing is easy, bro. But I mean, if they wanted to figure out another way to make some more money, they can.
But the thing is, like when you say, hey, just go to Google and search for it. The part of the challenge is, and I've seen most of the entrepreneurs I follow eventually talk about this, and the educational system. The educational system doesn't prepare you to think for yourself in any way, shape, or form. That isn't what it's designed for. That isn't what it does. It makes you a cog in a machine. And the thing is, to be an entrepreneur is the exact opposite. Like I had to sit down, and I'm telling you, man, listen, 5 years ago, I would have lost my mind to figure out how to use this webcam. This looks so much better than what I had. It was sitting in a corner collecting dust, and I had to sit down and Google, read something for 5 minutes and go, oh, dude, there's a button right here. I can just flip from one camera to the other. But the thing is, you have to be willing to put in the time. And that's where the challenge is. Normally what I think it is therapists just complain too much. They have more resources than ever. And listen, if you're a therapist and you're watching this and you're frustrated and you want to talk to me about it, write me. I'll answer you. You can write me on Instagram, and I guarantee you I'll send you a video back and chat with you about it. Because the thing is, I still dedicate my time to trying to help people and lift them up. Because I have some challenges with the overarching picture. But if you're in poverty, the way I was in poverty 7 years ago, you can't do anything about it. You're not going to be able to do anything about the equity, the equality in the world at large or in the U.S. at large from a place of poverty. It doesn't happen. Like you need options, and having money to be able to pay your bills, to be able to spend time with your kids, to be able to take a vacation makes a difference.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's what does Zig Ziglar say? He goes, money is not, it's not everything. But it's pretty close up there with oxygen. It's pretty. I had a client from Australia, and we're talking about money, and even she's like, she's not like a super rich person or anything. She's like, money's pretty important. Very simply, she's like, you need the money to do the things.
Yep.
She's like, you want to do the things, you need the money. But going back, also, people don't account for problems, man. That's why I made that post the other day. My house just flooded.
No emergency fund.
No emergency fund. No rainy day fund.
Yep.
You know, they don't account for problems, man, and they don't include that in their budget or their financial plan. Really, is that problems are going to happen. Bad things are going to happen. It's just, you know, what does Dave Ramsey say? He goes, Dave, that's not very positive. He's like, I'm positive bad things are going to happen.
You know, the thing is also, it's, you know, therapists don't want to invest in continuing education. They don't want to, you know, up their skill level. It's like they say classes are expensive. And the thing is, you need to do research on what you're going to study and, you know, giving clients what they want. But at the same time, if you don't improve your education, how are you going to be a better massage therapist? How are you going to make more money?
Absolutely. Yeah.
You know, it's a vicious circle after a while. So listen, I'd like to talk about you. I mean, I'm sorry. I'd like to talk about this subject again at some point. I think we're good for tonight. I want to go ahead and get out. I got a yoga class coming up, and then I have another online class tonight, so I'm busy.